From StoryFlo, this is your daily audio brief. It's Mason. August 8th. 5 things on the tape worth your attention this morning. Let's get into it. First, from Forbes Business, Blakely, Pease tie in Night 1 thriller. At 2026 US Gymnastics Championships, Skye Blakely and Pease tied for the lead on Night 1 at the 2026 US Gymnastics Championships, with Bullock and Rivera close behind, setting up a fierce battle for the title on Sunday in Phoenix. Next, second, from Entrepreneur, the 15-minute AI system that keeps your $1 million goal on track, beginner-friendly. AI is quietly giving solopreneurs a chief of staff. Here's how to build yours. No staff, no code. Opinions expressed by entrepreneur contributors are their own. The 15-minute, no-code setup that turns one Google Sheet and one set of instructions into your own AI chief of staff. The daily system that reads your sales, traffic, and leads, chooses the highest value move, and keeps you focused until it is done. Up next, third, from Entrepreneur. Your next customer is Googling you right now. Here's how I make the first page do the selling. Opinions expressed by entrepreneur contributors are their own. Buyers do most of their homework before they ever contact you, which makes your search results the first sales conversation, whether you show up for it or not. You don't have to be famous to win the first page of your own name. You have to be deliberate, with a current profile, recent evidence of earned expertise, and enough consistent signal that a skeptical buyer decides you are credible today. A prospect once booked a call with me and opened by quoting something I had written in an article 2 years earlier. And then fourth, from Bloomberg, Markets. Burnham's fiscal flexibility could backfire, officials fear. UK Treasury officials are concerned that the Prime Minister's talk of using flexibility within the fiscal rules to ramp up investment could backfire by destabilizing financial markets, according to people familiar with the thinking. Next, fifth, from Fast Company. The humble notebook still matters in the age of AI. Hey, I wanted to share something with you that I think is really interesting. The humble notebook has been a critical thinking tool for centuries, from Einstein's Zurich notebook to Ben Franklin's bifocal invention. And while technology has changed how we take notes, the AI revolution is actually making note-taking more useful than ever. You see, with AI, we can use tools to research, summarize, and even chat with our notes, but the key is to use AI in service of our thinking, not instead of it. I've found that using AI for research and then creating my own summaries and plans is a great way to stay engaged and active in the process. It's not just about note-taking, though. It's about thinking, and that's something we shouldn't hand off to AI. The act of taking notes requires thinking, and that's what adds structure and clarity to our productivity work. So keep taking notes, but use AI intentionally to enhance your thought process, not replace it. For listeners who want low-fee crypto exposure, our markets partner Kraken supports Bitcoin. Link in show notes. Up next, sixth, from Forbes Business. Bahubali, The Eternal War, taps Annapurna Studios' A&M Mocap Lab for pre-visualization. Exclusive. India's record-breaking Bahubali universe is expanding, and they're joining forces with a familiar collaborator. Bahubali, The Eternal War, a new animated film based on the franchise, is using the A&M Mocap Lab at Hyderabad's Annapurna Studios for pre-visualization of its most complex sequences, marking a new chapter for both the IP and for a storied Indian studio facility. And then, seventh, from Bloomberg. Markets. Situational Awareness's mystery investment was to Source Foundry. Hey, so I just read this thing about situational awareness, the hedge fund that was on the verge of collapse a few days ago. They made this huge $400 million investment in a company called Source Foundry, which is a chip manufacturing startup. Apparently, this investment was a pretty big deal, considering the fund was in trouble, but it looks like they managed to scrape together enough cash to make this huge bet on Source Foundry. I'm not sure what to make of it, but it's definitely interesting. Source Foundry is working on some advanced chip tech, and it's possible that situational awareness saw some potential in it, or maybe they just needed a place to park their cash. Either way, it's a big move, and I'm curious to see how it plays out. For listeners who want low-fee crypto exposure, our markets partner Kraken supports Bitcoin. Link in show notes. Next, 8th from Zero Hedge. Your tax dollars at work. NJ cops dress up as bushes to hand out cell phone violations. 74 distracted driving tickets were handed out after officers in Dunedin, NJ, spent 6 hours hidden in full-body ghillie suits, essentially posing as oversized shrubs. The bushes were stationed along the downtown stretch where traffic and pedestrians mix, watching drivers scroll on their phones with binoculars and radioing violations to nearby patrols. First-time offenders face fines between $200 and $400 under state law that bans handheld phone use while driving. Police say the stunt was meant to remind motorists that a quick glance at a screen can wait. If you're cruising through New Jersey, keep your eyes on the road. Those bushes might just be watching. Up next, 9th from Zero Hedge, Trump to announce $180 million grants for mining industry. $180 million in grants are headed to the mining sector, with $100 million from the Energy Department for scholarships and training, and $80 million from the military earmarked for 3 universities. President Trump will host a roundtable Friday, pulling together about 200 industry leaders, educators, and officials to push domestic mining and cut reliance on foreign sources. The funding aims to build a skilled workforce and tighten supply chains for critical minerals that power defense and tech. Expect universities like Colorado School of Mines, South Dakota School of Mines, and Johns Hopkins to roll out new programs under this push. And then, 10th from Zero Hedge. DHS hiring bounty hunters for overseas tracking of deported migrants. $9 million over 2 years will fund a DHS program that hires private investigators to locate deported migrants abroad. Investigators will confirm residences using photos, utility bills, public records, then hand-deliver notices of any immigration fines. The move extends ICE's domestic skip tracing practice, but civil rights groups warn it expands enforcement to people already out of the country, raising due process. That's the read. Watch the tape, ignore the noise. Back tomorrow. That's your brief. Find every story and claim your own free feed at storyflo.com.